Seahawks, Dak Prescott, and the Cowboys will have the chance to show how legit they are as they take on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said a victory over KC would be a hallmark win. Shannon, did you like this from Jerry, or do you have a problem with it?
I got a problem. So this is what it's come to for your Cowboys. Now, this is what I'm basing it on. From what Jerry and what Stevens and other great Cowboy players that have played there that talk about this team, Cowboy coaches that have coached this team, they compare this team to the 90s Cowboys that won 3 Super Bowls. Now, Skip Bayless, you covered that team. I want you to tell me the game in which Jimmy or Barry Switzer said, of beating a 6-4 team on the road, this would be a hallmark victory.
I can tell you before the NFC Championship game in 1994, after that season, Jimmy called a radio station and guaranteed victory over Steve Young and the 49ers. Guaranteed it. And the Dallas Morning News put it in headlines on Sunday morning, Jimmy guarantees.
So
that was the flip side.
That's the flip side.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Jerry, that's been crowing, and others that have been crowing, that this team, similarities, has talent like the 90s Cowboys Super Bowl winning machine, a hallmark victory would be going on the road and beating a 6-4 football team. Wow.
Okay.
You see what happens is Super Bowls is no longer the standard for the Cowboys. This is what you've come to, Skip Bayless. When you only have 3 playoff wins in 25 years, this is what you've come to. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of your team. You should be ashamed of the people that speak on behalf of this team, that you would have a hallmark victory in Week 11 over a 6-4 team. As a matter of fact, Fox betting and the betting houses don't have a whole lot of respect for you, because it's good if you are what you say you are. Everybody knows Kansas City's struggling this year. They're not the team that represented the AFC in the last 2 Super Bowls. They're not that good, and they still favored over you. Very, very, my goodness. And Jerry, a hallmark victory. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. America's team. Can you imagine? I wonder if Coach Saban would say, you know what, if we beat Georgia, if we beat Auburn, that's a hallmark victory. No, the standard is national championships. The standard is the standard. Can you imagine Bill Belichick? I wonder if Mr. Kraft, I want to hear Mr. Kraft say one time, if we beat a 6-4 team on the road, that is a hallmark victory for us. You see the difference? When the standard is championships, you don't settle for hallmark. Hallmark is a greeting card. Hallmark is what relatives send to one another, a loved one send to one another, or people that are interested say. That's what hallmark is. There are no hallmark victories. You should be ashamed. I'm ashamed for you if you're not.
Okay, my turn. I will admit up front, I have some mixed emotions about this comment from my owner. I will agree with you in the big picture. I just wish my owner would shut up and stay out of the way, because every time he opens his mouth, I have some problem with it somehow. And I definitely have some problem, but not to the degree you have. The flip side of this is that just 2 Sundays ago, my team had the first of 2 home games against some Denver Broncos team that also ran with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback. Defense all beat to hell. Coming in with, what's that guy's name who coaches you? I can't even remember his name.
You know,
Vic Fangio. Yeah, that's some old
Captain
guy.
Vic.
Yeah, Captain Vic. You know, some Belichick wannabe. And I'm thinking, we got this. And I think I told you sitting right here in this seat, I'm good to go here. I'll go so far as to say this is a done deal. We got this one, right?
You said it was a done deal.
What happened? My team came out incredibly overconfident and got punched right in the kisser, got knocked on its golden tail, and tried to get up in the 4th quarter, but it was way too late, and they were down 30-0 early in the 4th quarter and lost 30-16 just because Warrior Dak fought back at the end, and McCarthy let him try to get back up on that horse and ride a little bit and made it sound respectable when it wasn't respectable at all. It was another one of those NFL season, 2021 season shockers where you just say, what just happened?
Right.
You know, what caused this? Well, it's an aberration, because my team came right out against Atlanta and said, watch this. Atlanta had just won at New Orleans, and my team said, watch this. Goodness. And absolutely destroyed and dismantled and demoralized the Falcons poor Falcons who have to turn around on a short week and play host to the suddenly...
Well, they didn't play Sunday, so they should be fresh.
Okay.
They didn't play Sunday. They showed up, but they didn't play.
Fair point. Well, I hope you're right about that. We'll see about that tonight in Atlanta, where they're 5.5-point dogs at home. The point is, at least this statement doesn't lead to overconfidence. At least he didn't guarantee victory at Kansas City. At least he didn't say, I'll be surprised if we don't win, right? So you got to give him that much.
Skip, you're the Cowboys. You're the most valuable team in all of pro sports.
Okay, so remember before the opener at Tampa Bay on that opening solo stage Thursday night, my owner said it's David versus Goliath, and I had no problem with that because it was even worse than that. I thought my team had no chance. At least David won, right?
Right.
Okay, well, I thought Goliath was going to win this one, and my team took him right to the wire, and it required the best of Brady goating at GOAT to pull it out with the walk-off field goal.
But don't you think that should have been your hallmark victory? You're beating the reigning, defending Super Bowl champs.
Okay.
Why not say that? Why you want to beat up on a poor 6-4 team? Skip, you do realize...
obviously, nobody thinks that Kansas City is a 6-4 team. Nobody thinks that.
But
you don't think that.
Yeah, I do. I see
you do not? You've already told me you're leaning toward picking the Chiefs.
I am, but I also saw them beat Daniel Jones by 3 points.
I did, too.
I also saw them beat the Green Bay Packers, minus Aaron Rodgers' Green Bay Packers, by 6 points. And I'm supposed to be head over heels about that?
Yep.
I'm not.
Okay, so here's my problem with what Jerry said. To your point, it feels like you've sent a message to your team, it'll be a miracle if we win this game. Well, no, it won't, because my team already went to the Chargers and won. Yeah. My team went to Belichick and won in overtime, walked it off, right?
Yeah.
Wait a second, my team went to Minnesota without a starting quarterback in a Sunday night game and beat Kirk Cousins. I don't know how they did it, but they held him to, what was he, 1 out of 13 on third down? 1 of 13. Okay, so my defense did that.
Right.
My backup quarterback did that. My team is 3-1 on the road and came real close to, at GOAT, pulling off 4-0 on the road. Yeah. Okay, so I have a lot more confidence in my team than it'll be a miracle.
Right.
It'll be a hallmark.
Right.
It'll be like...
Thank you.
It'll be shocking. And by the way, we're going to talk more deeply about this in a few minutes on this show, but if you look at this point spread, the shock to me is that in the Mahomes era, they have never been under a 3-point favorite at home.
Right.
And by the way, in that AFC Championship game against GOAT and Belichick, remember at Kansas City in the cold, they were a 3-point favorite in that game.
Right.
Well, right now, my team is sitting under 3. It's at 2.5-point underdog.
Right.
So you can say that in the Mahomes era, this is the best an underdog has been point spreaded, like they're coming in with the most favorable point spread, even though they're the dog, but they're only 2.5-point dog.
But will you concede this might be the worst team overall that that Kansas City has had in the Mahomes era? When you look at it from top to bottom?
I will concede that. And it has something to do with the defense, and it has a lot to do with Patrick trying to live up to his hype, where he just tries so hard to pull off a no-look or a left-handed pass or a behind-the-back or a between-the-legs or some spectacular highlight. And that last one that he pulled off, which became the dagger the other night that he throws to Darrell Williams, the running back, it was a classic interceptable ball, and he just hung it up for grabs, and the running back made the best running back catch I think I've ever seen in a game, to go up over Jonathan Abram and just snatch it. If we can see it right here. He's okay, I love him breaking through the rush, and I love his mobility, and then that's just a bad idea of a throw, especially to a running back.
Right.
If you threw it up to Kelsey, I'd say, I got it, because you think he can win a jump ball. If you throw it to Shannon Sharp, I got it. I got it, but not to the running back.
No, running back.
On some wheel route,
I'm surprised he even threw it to a running back.
Well,
down the field that far.
Okay, but the running back, he says, has always been in his ear saying, I can catch. Okay, so... But
they all say that.
They all say that. Okay, so my point is, he dared the devil and gotten away with a bunch of them this year. He's got 10 interceptions and a couple of lost fumbles. So, again, he's struggling to find his identity. Who am I? What should I be? When obviously he did a much better job at Raiders the other night. He took a bunch of checkdowns to the running back.
Thank you.
He took a lot of underneaths to Kelsey and let him just run with it, because he's going to really, he runs like T.O. used to run, with rage.
Great after catch.
Okay, so My point is, you have them in a vulnerable spot. They might have rediscovered themselves,
right.
but again, are you at least on level playing field with them?
Yeah.
Yes, you are. You better believe you are.
But here's the thing, Skip. If you look at it, let's just say if Mahomes and Dallas are pushed offensively, I would give the nod slightly to the Cowboys' defense over Kansas City's defense. So Kansas City's defense, Skip, you know they hadn't been good this year. They really haven't.
They were better the other night.
Right.
Did they find themselves?
Right. It's going to be very interesting because if you notice, Skip, I had talked about this earlier. I felt they needed to kick Chris Jones back inside so he can use his quickness.
Yep.
He's very, very quick for a defensive tackle.
Yep.
He's average quick for a defensive end. Put him back inside. Now, but you're putting him back inside with one of the best players. Zach Martin is not to be messed with.
Yep.
Now, I think they're going to probably get Tyron Smith back.
I'm pretty sure.
So
it will help a lot.
They'll be at full strength. Kansas City will need to play their